Kim, thank you so much for joining the podcast. I really appreciate it. Owner of Unbridled, tell me a little bit about your journey. How did you get into, branding, brand strategy, and bit of design? What was the dream to start your agency?
Well, it was a mixture of two different life paths, I suppose. I started off my career actually pursuing a science degree in agriculture, and I actually studied equine genetics and husbandry, and I pursued that for a little while, and I just kind of thought wasn't quite a fit. Horses are obviously a passion of mine, but I needed something a little bit more. So I then went and studied PR and communications and worked in corporate brand strategy and branding for quite a long time. Again, not the perfect fit for me. I kind of thought I still want to combine both my passions. And after looking around, the job that I wanted that combined both of my passions didn't exist. And there's been a huge upswell in local producers in the equestrian and the horse space. So I decided, well, I'll make my own job that I want. And I did that. And we've been growing ever since. And we do focus on the horse industry in South Africa. But we've also been working globally with all kinds of companies. We've worked with crypto companies, we've worked with engineers and architects. So, whoever comes knocking, we do help out. But I think our expertise is quite obviously horses.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks beautiful. It looks so gorgeous. And I love the slogan. It said something from turning lacquer into luxury. To all the Americans watching this, how would you explain the word lacquer? What is lacquer?
Oh, it's so much more than just the word, right? So we've got a bit of a saying in South Africa that local is lekker, and it's kind of our way of telling people to stick to local and buy local. Lekker meaning good. It's the same. Well, I think in Dutch, I think it's sweet, but in Afrikaans, it means something that's good, something that's nice. So what we try to do with our slogan is just to really hone in on the fact that, yes, you should be supporting locally, but remember that, it could be more than like it can also be luxury. So we don't need to worry about it. The Italian brands and the English brands, those are great, but we've got stuff that's the same or if not better here at home.
Definitely, definitely. And you can use the word lacquer for pretty much anything. But tell me,
Yeah.
when and when working with clients, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see businesses make when it comes to brand strategy?
Oh, I don't think we have enough time. Um, definitely, I think thinking too short term. So one of the first things I ask clients when I sit down with them is, what is the pipe dream? What do you think? When you're thinking about your retirement and you're sitting in your armchair by the fire, so what are you looking back on? What has this business become for you? And that's the journey that we build out. Because building a strategy that is so small and what you feel is realistic, once you achieve that, sometimes the brand stops serving at that point. So 3 years from now, cool, we are a company that sells, I don't know, paint. Cool. But now the brand is just about paint.
Yeah.
You should be looking further and going, okay, we're actually an all incorporated interior, exterior, design house or whatever, because the look and feel should grow and support with you the whole way through. And with that short term thinking, another sinkhole I see people falling into is trends with branding. So, like lately at the moment, there's been a big move towards very earthy tones and very sort of almost feminine fonts and things like that. But, that's great now, but you need to go with what is suited to your look and feel and your personality and or the brand. And even if that looks a little archaic, if it fits, it fits.
Yeah.
So, not falling victim to trends because then all the companies in that industry over the next 3 years probably all going to look the same.
Yeah.
And so It's a lot of that. And I think one of the biggest ones, and if there are any brand strategists listening or watching, will probably roll their eyes and agree, is that understanding the importance of branding. A lot of people don't understand why it's there. Why does it matter what our tone of voice is, or why does it matter what our core values are and our mission and our vision? And I just want the logo. Can't you just give us the logo? That's not what branding is. It's part of branding, but you need the guiding star and that map.
Yeah.
And without that, you can't guarantee that all these little elements are all pointing to that end goal that we originally spoke about.
Definitely. And it's so tricky to divide. Well, this leads me to my next question is how do you divide with what is trending and what is working?
It's difficult, right? Because that's not to say that trends aren't useful. Um, but I think really it's deciding, do I like it because it fits, or do I like it because it's trending?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So if it's trending but it actually fits, I'm fine. I'm not going to argue with you. We can build that out. That's cool. But if you can't really substantiate to me why this feels right for you,
Mm,
then it doesn't really resonate with the brand or the business on that fundamental level.
I see.
And ultimately, audiences see that. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I came here because this is like so um trendy and whatever, but oh, it's actually like this old school law firm or something. And it's a bit like dissonant, and it doesn't match for me, and it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I can't exactly like explain why.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, as long as it fits and it sits, and the brand owner, shall we say, can substantiate why it fits, then it's good. I think, yeah, it's like I said before, even if it looked old school, maybe old school fits.
Yeah, definitely. And on this design and branding, what do you think is the number one thing that really captivates visitors when they land on your website and see your brand? Is there one thing you could pinpoint?
Oh, it's a tricky one. It's always, I think, a melting pot of visuals, imagery, and messaging. But I think one of the most important things, I would say, if we're talking, as you say, on landing on a website, sort of above fold, I should be able to tell within less than 2 seconds, because let's be honest, most people are even past the mat. I should understand the problem you solve for me.
Oh, that's a good one.
So whether that's through visuals, and it can be done in multiple ways. It can be done verbally and visually, but I need to know that I'm looking for paint. We're using this paint. Well, we're going on the paint journey now, so let's stick with the metaphor.
Perfect.
And I need to know in the beginning that you sell paint that lasts and is cheaper than the others. Cool. Problem solved. Those are all my problems ticked. I needed something that's going to last, and I needed something affordable. Done.
Definitely.
So, yeah, problem solving. Make it easy for people. Answer the question before it even comes up.
Definitely. That's something much deeper than just the looks. And a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of people believe that web design and design is just about looking good. But how does the user experience play into your process?
Oh gosh, it's such a big part of web design, because ultimately, and I speak from my own experience, and my husband is particularly short tempered when it comes to it. If you're on a website, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do, done. Closing tab.
Yes.
Done.
Yes.
I'll find someone else. So, if you're not making it really easy for people to understand what to do and be like, oh, I'm not sure if I should, where should go, should I stick with this one? Make it easy. And you can kind of lead the witness a little bit through the journey of the website. And the one thing I always see as a big mistake on websites is that homepage doesn't really signpost people out, because ultimately, of your lead funnel, you've got people at multiple stages of the funnel coming to your website. You can't guarantee that everyone coming to your homepage is brand new. Maybe they've been to your website before. Maybe they know enough about the product from your other marketing panels so that they don't really need all the baby hand holding in the beginning that you need for top funnel. So your homepage should cater to everyone, which means signposting the rest of your website. So in the beginning, you go, read all about us here, and this is our product, view all the other products here, and basically funnel and siphon off the different phases of the marketing funnel, ending with, or just go and buy now at the bottom, or contact us now, whatever your CTA or, your purchase looks like at the bottom. But so then instead of me, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, but a lot of like, do I go straight to looking at products? I'm not quite sure. But that homepage acts as that directory of like, oh, I don't need to go there. That's for someone who already knows what they want. I want to go browse at first.
I love that. Prior to the podcast, you were mentioning you're really good with left brain and right brain, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, totally. It's mixing the science with the art. Totally.
Yeah. And how do you merge brand strategy with web design? Do the two work hand in hand, or do you approach them as, separate pieces of a puzzle?
They definitely different skill phases of a project, but they're really important because I always tell people, whether they're a service provider, whether their website is just a online info place, like acting as like a brochure, your website is ultimately your storefront. Now imagine you walking through a shopping mall and you walk past a store that's really dark and can't really see all the products through the window. Doesn't really look like anyone works there. But then next door, we've got something bright, colorful, and the music sounds good coming out of the store. There's loads of people. There's someone standing at the door waiting to help me. Cool. Which store are you going to go into, right? So
Yeah.
again, it's about how are we representing the brands that we've mapped out, strategized in that very early phases of this project, to ensure that one of your biggest touch points and one of your most important touch points is ready. Because once you now have your website going, you've got your organic marketing going, you've got your paid marketing going, you've got emails going. But ultimately, where do all of these channels lead people back to?
Yeah.
It's your website.
Yes.
So for me, as a brand touch point, it is so, so important. So making sure that, all those elements tie in, the messaging links back to those core values and what we want people to believe. The visuals are all nursing that brand image and building that brand reputation, making it identifiable and solidifying in people's brains. But then ultimately making sure that people have a good experience. So they go, oh, that website was so easy to use. I'm never going to go back to that other one because this one took me 3 seconds and if my products arrive next day, amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, making sure it's again, it's just a sort of tapestry of all these different elements coming together and making sure that the business's best foot gets put forward.
Yeah, definitely. And especially with, all these software and AI and everything happening, it's becoming more and more often where I see websites lacking in one of the departments. It's very rare where you see a website that has everything that you just mentioned. But with that
Yeah,
being said,
absolutely.
yeah, branding and web design are constantly evolving. And I want to ask you, what are the trends that you think are currently shaping the future of design and branding?
Oh, well, AI has its place. I'm not one of those people that thinks AI is going to take my job, but I think using it correctly and responsibly is a fantastic part. But it's obviously impacting, as you mentioned, going forward. A lot of people will be trying to do websites and the copy and the design themselves using AI. And I'm very open with my clients and I say, listen, if you think you could do it, I'm here to enable you to do it. I don't want to handcuff you to needing me.
Yeah.
But just make sure that it looks the way you want it to look, and that it's doing all the right things for the strategy, because otherwise, well, we're going to be damaging the brand ultimately. So I do definitely think a lot of sort of small business owner empowerment through AI is a big one. Um, I think the other thing is that from a web design perspective, these plug and play web builders, I mean, they've been around for years now. They're nothing new, but they are becoming so damn smart. Like, it is becoming so easy for people to build their own websites. And again, it's so good that more people can feel enabled to do it for themselves. My only warning there again is, if you're going to stick to a template, customize the template so that you don't look the same as the next person who goes on and uses the same template.
Yeah.
Um, from a brand strategy perspective, I think I look at it from where I started in the industry, where things were very PR, and we talk about ourselves in kind of the telecom salesman kind of way. Whereas now there's really a call for no BS.
Yeah.
Say it like it is.
Mm.
And um, it's I think it started with our generation, the millennials, and is now very evident in the younger generations, where they're hypercritical of everything, as they should be. They can cross-reference everything, and they ultimately know more than you every step of the way because they're young and amazing, right? But so, if your product shortfalls in some places, some people are calling it like it is and being like, hey, are we the prettiest product on the market? Maybe not. But you know what else we do? We do this, and others don't do that. And,
Yeah.
and you know what? People respect the honesty. They're like, oh yeah,
Yeah. And
I'm gonna get it as it is from these guys. And I know that, ultimately my money is being spent honestly.
this is exactly
And
what
there's
I'm getting.
transparency there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
just gives so much trust.
Totally. So yeah, and then I think visually, from a design perspective, if we want to go into that side of things, minimalism has gone out the window, and maximalism is now back.
Oh,
Like, think crafts for websites. Like, it's like everything is in your face, everything is big, bold, bulgy, bubbly fonts, and like magazine collage. It's like almost like 90s magazine style maximalism now.
Ah.
Um, so yeah, those are things that I'm noticing going forward.
Definitely, and very colorful. I'm seeing a lot of color. Is that Siri?
Yeah, very, and lots of neon. People are loving a neon color at
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah, a ton of neon, a ton of neon. Well, I'm gonna finish off with my last closing fun quick fire questions, okay? I have three of them. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, your favorite brand right now.
Ooh, South African brand, sorry, gotta do it. Called Standard Beauty. They are a local skincare company. Their packaging is phenomenal. Again, making skincare really accessible and kind of taking the science out of it in a way that people can understand. Um, so yeah,
I love it.
that's a big one for me at
I
the
love it.
moment.
That's a good one. Okay, number two, the worst web design trend you've ever seen.
Oh, it's old. But back in early websites, you used to have this like cursor that had like a faded mirror image, so it would like tail wherever you hit the cursor. And I'm so ADHD. My brain's like following the cursor everywhere, but I haven't bought anything because I'm just like playing with the cursor on the, yeah, don't do that.
Okay, I agree. That is one of the worst. Okay, and last one, best branding advice you have ever received.
Mm. I think be honest. I think that, like we were talking about earlier, and that was something that back when I was doing corporate branding, uh, was the best thing that people responded to.
Yeah.
Um, and when I say be honest, I know most companies aren't out here trying to hide anything, and it's not about that. It's not. It's just like it's kind of one of the reasons why behind the scenes content has become so big at the moment. It's like you're not hiding anything by not showing people what happens in the office. The people love to see it and love to see that as a human buying products, I'm buying products from other humans who just
Yeah.
live a similar life to me. And that honesty and that level of transparency changes the way your brand comes across and is received.
Exactly. Definitely. 100%. Well, Kim, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Last but not least, I just want you to leave and let the audience know what you currently got going on.
Amazing. One of the big products or projects that we're working on at the moment is with Lorette and Barry Taylor in Johannesburg. We are building a show jumping online membership and training platform for them, which is really, really exciting. And we've just closed up a project with a crypto company called Cardware Wallet, which is really cool. So if any crypto fans out there looking for a new hardware wallet that's setting a new standard, go check them out. But yeah, we've got our hands full for the rest of the year, and it's going to be really exciting.
Really, really awesome. Well, Kim, thank you so much and good luck with the rest of your ventures ahead.
Thanks, Bradley. I appreciate it.